Welcome back, everyone. The players hit the field from USA and Mexico in preparation and anticipation of this national anthems.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your hat playing with the national anthem of Mexico, followed by the national anthem of the United States of America.
Passion and physical play, that's always there when the USA plays against Mexico, especially in a World Cup qualifier. ESPN's presentation of U.S. soccer is presented by the United States Marine Corps. This is the home of the defending MLS Cup champions, the Columbus Crew. Another MLS season will kick off later in March. This one kicks off here. Mexico in green, USA in white. John Harkes, what do we expect early?
Well, I would think that Mexico really got to keep their shape and be disciplined. Sven Goran Eriksson's thinking that, look, at this point, We haven't done so well in the last phase. We've got to watch the USA, and they're very dangerous coming forward. The US at the other end, well, they can attack, JP, but they also got to pick their spots when to do it. Already, this looks very promising from the US.
Heath Pierce way up. Miss-hit that ball. Up for Giovanni Dos Santos, a player to watch, certainly number 17, young but gifted. Beasley on the sideline, and that ball goes out. Flag was up as well. On the far side of the field. You've played in these kinds of conditions before. We saw the heavy winds. What does that do to the mindset coming out?
Well, you have to prepare in a different way, JP. Obviously, the technical side of the game may break down at times because your first touching the ball is in wet conditions, you get heavy legs. But, you know, it's just mentally. You have to change your mindset. You've got to be able to scrape for everything and fight and battle, pick up the second ball in the midfield and dictate the pace from there.
Throw in coming up, Ricardo Osorio, number 5 for Mexico. They haven't beaten the USA on American soil in their last 10 appearances. Mexico, though, sounded pretty confident yesterday that maybe this is the year, this is the game. Beasley too far for Donovan. They usually work very well together. Pavel Pardo, a player to watch, will play it up for Dos Santos. Gio, as he's called, will take off. To the right side it goes. Nery Castillo, another young gifted player for Mexico. Off his foot, knocked away by Pierce. To the middle, towards Dempsey, number 8. Over to Frankie Haydock, who starts for the injured Steve Cherundolo, a fan favorite here in Columbus, playing for the Crew. Throw in here for the United States. Brian Ching has it knocked away. The cross from Dempsey, cut off. Rafa Marquez, long-time stalwart and captain of the team. Out wide, this is Carlos Ochoa, sending it into the box. Knocked down by Bocanegra, picked up by Mexico. Inside the box, Castillo, Dos Santos, save made in front. Tim Howard, what a chance though for Mexico early. Oh, both teams going at it. No sitting back right here at the start of the match.
Well, what a big save right there by Tim Howard. He needed to come up big. And that just tells you about the conditions, JP. That ball should have been cleared by the U.S. defense. It wasn't. It left them hanging out. Dos Santos jumps on a loose ball, and really he should score from that position. That should be a 1-0 Mexico situation right now, and Tim Howard is the one that kept them out of that situation. Very well done by Tim.
Carlos Salcido on the left. Galindo over the top. Intended for Ochoa. Foul is called. The referee is from Guatemala, Carlos Patres. Free kick is coming for Mexico. And they'll play it short. No room there on the wing for Medina. USA will get to it. Donovan with a touch back. Given right back to Pavel Pardo. He'll switch it. Well done to Giovanni Dos Santos. Against Pierce. Help was coming from Beasley. Sent in by Pardo. Nobody near it. A miss hit there. Wet field, wet ball. And we may see a lot of that today, John.
Well, that's the weather conditions again. You saw Onyewu went to clear that ball out, and the wind caught it, kept it inside the 18, very high. But it's putting the ball in the box right now and letting the defense sort it out. And that's really what the game plan changes. Instead of playing neat and tidy, good passes technically all over the field, it's get it into the box and put them under pressure and see who can clear the ball the best.
Medina, no room there. Frankie Haydock had that sideline covered like he owned it. Throw in for Mexico. And Carlos Patres will have them take it over. Sellout crowd, around 24,000. They've come from 43 states, the District of Columbia, Canada, and Mexico. I'm not sure what happened there, but that's going to be a free kick, not a throw-in, as was the original call. Pavel Pardo will take it, the most capped player on this team. With 1:45 coming into this. Sending it up! And just over Tim Howard.
Well, again, this was a situation earlier, and we mentioned how quick it is to get the ball in the box. This miscleared here by the USA, and then, again, they're on top of it, but Dos Santos is the one who's quicker to the ball. Good save by Tim Howard. Again, this ball should have been cleared by the US. The wet conditions, it lends to, well, inconsistency in terms of that. Mexico were quick to jump on the ball. We almost saw Landon get on the end of that one, in behind Mexico's defense.
Osvaldo Sanchez will put it forward, taken back by Question towards Dempsey. Medina blocked it. Dempsey plays for Fulham in the Premiership, will get it back. Up on the right side, Hayduk. Left-footed cross was denied by Pardo, out for a USA throw-in. Hayduk, that cross denied as well.
Well, it's a familiar role for Frankie Hayduk because he does this with the Columbus Crew being at home. He's got the support of their fans, of course, with the US fans being here, but he loves to push forward. I'm sure Bob Bradley's told him at times, say, hey, you've got to sit back early in this game, stay disciplined in the shape. You don't want to expose too much early on.
Michael Bradley, number 4, plays it up.
Good ball.
It allows the USA to run, but it was put a little bit too far in front by Question. Almost unrecognizable with that long hair gone. He's wearing number 16. Push back the other way. Ricardo Osorio, long ball to Ochoa. Anye will win most of those, regardless of the elements, but this time he's called for a foul. Free kick for Mexico. From distance. Tim Howard telling everybody what he wants in the wall. It's Pardo and Castillo, and they'll play it short. Galindo. Intended for Dos Santos. Pardo missed it. Beasley doesn't, but he gave it right back to Marquez. He's pierced in the air. DeMarcus Beasley. He's taken down. Free kick, US. Heath Pierce over the ball. Pierce playing for Hansa Rostock in Germany's 2nd division. Hasn't really played, though, since December. They're on a winter break. Up for grabs. Hayduk had most of that. Onyewu floats it right back, but it'll go right back to Osvaldo Sanchez. Tough game to play for a lot of these players. Some of them are in form with their club team. Other guys have not been playing for a while. The MLS players are in preseason training.
And this goes with the same with Mexico, JP, because a lot of them took a break in the Mexican League. And some of their players, just as some of the US players, are finding it hard to get playing time at their clubs, whether it be overseas, or even domestically here. They're trying to be fit. And, the US, I think, are raring to go after being 5 weeks in a US training camp. So they want to play. They want to get right into it. No better way than to start against the best team in the CONCACAF, Mexico.
Is that the way you'd like to start? World Cup qualifying, final round against the best?
Absolutely.
Pardo, who's played in many of these big games, will get it back. Kept it on the ground. A bit too far for Castillo. Ochoa. Giovanni Dos Santos cutting. Nice moves there. Couldn't get through at the last moment, but the USA will give it away in a bad spot. Quick shot taken. That's blocked as well. Michael Bradley taking off with it. Playing in Germany for Borussia Mönchengladbach.
Well, just before that, it was a great defensive play by Michael Bradley. Then I think the ball was miscleared by the U.S., but can't afford to do too many of those, but very good defensive play by Bradley.
Great action up and down the field. We're only in the 10th minute.
And this is what it's all about, the pace of the game, the energy, the passion that's out in the field, and then really an aggressive dislike for each other. What these two countries are all about. And it has been historically, and those images That's what comes to mind when you talk about a rivalry. And it is rivalry week, isn't it?
More respect, though, now between these two teams. Bob Bradley certainly knows that. He had a lot of respect for his counterpart. He mentioned that yesterday, Sven-Göran Eriksson, who coaches Mexico. And clearly, John, the pressure's more on Eriksson than it is on Bob Bradley.
It's interesting that you say that. I mean, they're 4-4-1 coming into this game. Bob Bradley has really done an excellent job of preparing his team. So, you know, with Eriksson, they've linked him back to going to Portsmouth, you know, thinking that, well, maybe if they lose to the USA, he may be fired. But having said that, sometimes you go through the rocky times like they did in the last round of qualifying. They know what they did wrong. They can't do any worse than that. Maybe they come in here as underdogs and they just go for it.
Beasley missed that one. USA had the advantage call. Pushed up. Osorio back to Marquez, who plays for Barcelona. Ching. Wide left. Beasley. The cross. Right there. Cleared away. Nice job on the defensive side by the veteran Carlos Salcido. Medina slowed down there, taken away. Haydock for Bradley. Beasley on the run up. Heath Pierce looking, crossing. Too far for Donovan, but right up the middle. Knotted down by Question. Let's see who touched it last. Is it a corner? It is.
Well, it's a good build-up by the U.S. that leads to this. And again, like you said, we've seen so many times the good service from Beasley, and then we just saw it from Pierce. Remember Beasley, you know, putting that ball in the box for Dempsey in the World Cup, who scored the goal. And that's the type of balls that you need tonight to make a difference, to put the pressure on them in terms of Mexico's back line. And now, again, with this set play, see Ching in there so tight to Oswaldo Sanchez just in front. This is going to be a dangerous area. That's a group of players you got to keep an eye on.
Beasley tried that in-swinger. Hung up in the wind. It's loose in the box. Picked up and sent skyward by Marquez. But you could see when Beasley went to take that corner kick what the wind was doing.
Yeah, and again, it's one of those, JP, that as a player, you adjust sometimes just at the last second. Maybe it's a driven hard ball on the ground that skims through the defense. But again, with the wind, it's anybody's ball in the air. And when you got Onyewu challenging for balls in the box and Bocanegra, that seemed to have a good advantage in the air.
Michael Bradley tapped it back. Bocanegra, the USA captain. Offside flag is up under Marcus Beasley. "52 degrees. It is warmer than we thought it was going to be. But the showers and the wind we weren't counting on. We thought maybe snow when we saw this game on the schedule. But it's still going to be about the elements here tonight."
Right, when we walked into the stadium tonight, the wind, I think, almost took you and your umbrella away like Mary Poppins.
We were
I was a little bit concerned.
No, we were blown into the stadium. We didn't walk it.
It was a hurricane-esque type atmosphere here and weather conditions. So it settled down quite a bit, and the field is in excellent condition.
Leandro Augusto, far side. He missed Medina with that pass. Here's the man under the pressure, Sven-Göran Eriksson, but he says he enjoys the pressure. That's part of coaching. Mexico have fired quite a few coaches after losses against the United States.
You know, this is his first situation, U.S.-Mexico game, as we say, but Sven-Göran Eriksson has loads of really just ability to coach top players in the world. And his experience coming into this that's why Mexico likes him, because they want the discipline within their side. Under Hugo Sanchez, I think they lacked that a bit.
Yeah.
The creativity and the imagination was there, but the discipline and the balance was not there.
Beasley will have a throw-in. 15th minute scoreless. World Cup qualifier, USA versus Mexico, the final round beginning tonight. Inside it goes, cleared by Marquez in a bad spot, but it went to someone in green, Pardo, who played it up for Giovanni Dos Santos. Balls played up the middle like that tend to come back and bite you. Knocked away from Castillo. Good job by Question. And that was actually knocked off of Castillo. U.S. Marine Corps team profile, you're looking at the average age for the United States is 25 years of age, and 12 of their 18 players are based now outside of the USA. Most of the players could either play in Europe or MLS, and only one player, Jose Torres, playing for Mexico in the Mexican League, I should say, with Pachuca.
And Pachuca just beat Club America this past weekend, and Pardo plays for them. Obviously did not play in that game, but Torres did. It was a 3-1 result.
Giovanni Dos Santos looking for Castillo, didn't link up. Pardo, Dos Santos, Castillo. Castillo plays in Ukraine for Shakhtar Donetsk. The Dempsey pass. See, Dempsey and Beasley have switched sides now. Dempsey started out as a right winger. Beasley on the left, now it's the opposite. Here's DeMarcus shooting it. That's wide.
That's a great build-up by the U.S. And like you said, I love the interchanging of players and the understanding. And that's difficult to do, but I think the staff, you know, Bob Bradley and his staff have done a good job preparing the players. And it starts 10 months ago. It's not, you know, it doesn't happen on a Monday morning, especially when players are flying in from across the country and across the seas. That preparation starts 10 months ago. They know what the roles are, they interchange well, and they cover for each other. So that's the balance that this U.S. side has.
This ball rolls out for a throw-in for Mexico. Osorio. He plays for Stuttgart. Went there after the last World Cup ended in '06. Bradley was on the back of Ochoa, so he gets called for the foul. Carlos Salcido. Down the wing. Cover is there. Oh, what a job by Onyewu. It's going to be a throw-in for the United States.
And this is an excellent decision by Onyewu to really leave the center part of the field and go and cover for Frankie Haydick in behind. Onyewu, an excellent decision and a great tackle to follow up. And that's the cover I think the U.S. does quite well now for each other. But on the other end, for Mexico, I think that's where their weakness is. If they have two outside backs pushing forward, their center backs, I don't think are quick enough to really spread out and cover those spaces. And that's where the U.S. can take advantage of that with the flank play.
Left side, Pierce. Question, Beasley with Pardo on him. Question trying to play it across. Now it's Ochoa who got a piece of it. And it will go out for a throw-in for the United States. Intended for Ching. Bradley slides it over. Dempsey now in that middle. For Haydick. Onyewu, number 5 for the United States. Bocanegra. All the way back to Carlos Bocanegra, who plays for the club side Rennes in France. Halfway line, Question from Bradley. Lead pass off the mark, intended for Beasley. Picked up by Giovanni Dos Santos, Rafa Marquez. Back for Dos Santos. Played up by Osorio. Too far. Onyewu stays with it all the way back to Tim Howard. Off a block. Haydick chasing it down. On that wing, Salcido was there.
That just brought back memories.
Oh, yeah.
The 2-2 game up in Foxborough many years ago.
Casey Keller.
Casey Keller went to clear that ball.
And who did it hit? Carlos Hermosillo?
Yes,
right?
off the head and went in.
Goal.
Yeah. Don't want to see that again.
No, no. Good memory, though. Right side, played up to Dos Santos. Beasley battle there. Throw in United States. Heath Pierce. Back to Bocanegra. Onyewu to Bradley. Pierce. towards Ching. He got pushed down by Galindo. Bad place to foul. Free kick, U.S.
Before the game started, JP, I said one of the key factors in this is having the discipline not to foul around the outside of the 18. Because both teams really, and there's a shove in the back. Brian Ching always been a constant threat up front, holds the balls very well, but again, both teams are very good around the box in terms of free kicks. And Donovan and Kleshtin both love these areas of play. Either one of them can step up and produce a goal in this situation. So, having said that, tough situation for Mexico. The line of defense, look at the referee's gonna have to push them back, and Sanchez is gonna have to make a quick decision here whether or not he cheats to go behind the wall. Is it too close to bend it over the wall? I don't think so. I think it's in a perfect area for this.
23 yards away. Donovan is there. Beasley is to his right. Waiting for the whistle. Donovan gets it. Beasley thought about it. Donovan strikes it wide. Let's send it back to Ryan Burr in the studio, Sports Center right now. Thank you, Ryan. We're all happy to be a part of Rivalry Week. What better rivalry to have in this region than the USA versus Mexico, kicking off the final round of World Cup qualifying. Game one of 10 games that these two teams will play to try to get to South Africa in 2010. Right side Haydock for Donovan. Good idea, but denied. Flag was up anyway. Going offside. '23rd minute, scoreless.
Well, we were talking about the free kick and how dangerous it is in that position. There is Landon Donovan trying to catch the goalkeeper's side, thinking that Sanchez would maybe cheat a little bit in behind the wall, which a lot of goalkeepers do. And Landon just missing the mark. Very dangerous point from there.
Into the 23rd minute, anything surprise you about this game, the way it started or gone?
The fast pace of the game did not surprise me at all. The wet conditions there, the ball's gonna zip around the pitch. What I did, like from the US though, is that they kept a very high line. They wanted to shut down this Mexico team and not give them any breathing space at all to build confidence in themselves.
Over the top, intended for Donovan from Kleshtin. Rivalry Week continues tomorrow night. It starts off at 7 Eastern, the Big East pairing, Louisville and Notre Dame tipping off. Then at 9 Eastern, a Pac-10 showdown. It's UCLA and Arizona State. The Thursday night showcase presented by T. Rowe Price, part of Rivalry Week, presented by Cisco on ESPN. Osvaldo Sanchez, World Cup veteran, got that one forward, deflected out. It belongs to the United States. Haydock's throw in for Ching. Up towards Donovan. Cut off by Marquez. Marquez was injured a couple of weeks ago playing for Barcelona. There was some speculation might not be able to come back for this game. Mexico was very pleased that he was able to.
Well, you got to keep an eye on him because it was a calf injury, and anything, especially in wet conditions, is going to hurt. You put a lot of strain on that calf.
Salcido.
Good pressure from Dempsey.
Resulting in the USA getting possession. Haydock from Dempsey. Frankie Haydock still so fit at age 34. He'll be 35 later this summer.
From the point of view of like trying to keep the ball in that area, and really, I would think that Frankie Haydock would want to try to draw a foul in that corner because, again, set pieces is very important to capitalize, and anything that you can do in just trying to draw the defenders out, make them overcommit sometimes and foul a player. It's very important to have that patience and composure on the ball.
Intended for Ochoa. Onyewu bit in early, but the USA had cover. Dempsey for Haydock.
Dempsey looks pretty sharp tonight. It's a good start for him. He's done very well for Fulham in the last 5-6 games, and he's played more on a left-sided midfielder role for Fulham. So don't be surprised if you see he and DeMarcus Beasley switch sides throughout this game.
Goal kick coming up. Let's go downstairs. Pedro Gomez has something about a voodoo doll.
Guys, a little bit of a side story here. This was given away in Mexico, and as a way to try to dissuade the Americans from playing well. Even came with needles. Landon Donovan, I talked to him yesterday, he said he doesn't believe in this, so that's not actually hurting him. On the back here, they put gringos. I think they meant to put number 10, which is Donovan, but they got it wrong and put 01, so maybe that's why it's not hurting him.
Thanks, Pedro.
They also had the red hair like Carrot Top, so I don't know where that came from.
They asked Sven-Göran Eriksson about that yesterday, about the voodoo, and he said, I'm Swedish. He says, don't ask me about that stuff.
Yeah, they need a lot more than voodoo.
USA is favored whenever they play in the United States. Mexico favored when they play in Mexico. One of these days, Mexico will win here.
Eventually.
USA will win at Azteca. Just not sure when. But that's been the trend. It's been a homers series of late. Donovan quickly sent it into the middle, intended for Michael Bradley. Beasley steps up, cracks it off the foot, left foot, stopped there by Sanchez. That turned into almost something out of nothing. Giovanni Dos Santos.
The initial, just keep an eye on Dos Santos because of the pace he has right now. You know, he's not seen a lot of time at Tottenham Hotspurs either, so he comes back here. He's very happy to get the starting nod from Eriksson, the head coach, and he wants to show what he can do as a young player. Very exciting. And there's Sasha Kleshin. You know, they got to talk about his hat trick against Sweden on the 24th of January. Had a trial over at Celtic, did quite well. The offer was there, $2 million. I think the MLS wanted more, and Celtic was not willing to offer anymore, so that's gone away. But they're going to keep an eye on him, they say.
It's gone away for now. Yep. Intended for Ochoa. Given back. Giovanni Dos Santos looks, floats that one over towards Medina. Haydock catching up to Medina. Now doubled up there. Good job by Dempsey to come back and help out. Augusto into the box. Off on Yeu. Another one that was mishit. No foul was called. Much to the dismay of the Mexican supporters that are here, that foul was called. Donovan in the U.S. will have a free kick.
Leandro Augusto and you saw Pardo looking to quickly pounce on Landon Donovan because Landon, you know, we know how his pace out of that midfield, how he bursts out of that with great energy. And they want to shut that down early. But it was a great tackle from behind on Kleshin that broke up that play, and that's the type of midfield work you need from he and Bradley in the center of the park.
Played long by Dos Santos, intended for Ochoa. Beasley is back to track. Bocanegra.
Excellent ball by Bocanegra.
Pierce was wide open. In for Donovan. He tried to get between two Mexico defenders.
And you know, when Landon Donovan steps up really high with Ching, you know, sometimes that situation here, this is what Ochoa is trying to do to Onyewu, and it's only about bumping him off the ball, really. He's not even looking at the ball, he's just trying to set him up. But there's the shape from the U.S. side. It's good discipline right now. The balance is there, and you can see, actually on the opposite side with Mexico, Eriksson's kind of discipline, you know, that he's put into this team. And they're keeping their shape. So really, right now, it's a matter of who makes the mistakes and who pounces on those mistakes better and takes advantage of it.
Gusto gave that ball back to Onyewu. Tapped up by Kleshin into space.
What I was saying earlier, and I want to finish my thought, it was like when Landon does push up high with Ching, it'd be nice to see if Beasley could tuck in a little bit, and even Dempsey get more involved of coming inside to pick up those balls underneath the front men.
Pardo for Mexico, kept it on the ground for Ochoa on the turn. That's blocked. Mexico has looked dangerous around that USA box. Just haven't been able to finish. Dempsey. Bumped by Augusto. Finds Pierce. Beasley with that speed to get to the outside. Here's the cross. Far post. Not a down for Dempsey. Save Sanchez. A beauty. That matches Howard's at the other end at the start of the game. USA with it on the right. A half hour gone in this World Cup qualifier from sold out Columbus Crew Stadium, home of the MLS Cup champions, beating the Red Bulls in that final match that was played. Giovanni Dos Santos will play it to the left. Upfield, Medina. Near the box, he'll play it across, headed away by the U.S. Mexico has a player down. It's Castillo near the halfway line, but play is continuing as Howard was going to come out for it. It's cleared out instead, and finally the look back towards the halfway line where Nery Castillo is still down. And they will summon the training staff to come out onto the field.
Well, it looks like a hamstring. He's holding behind his quad. And that's not good news for Mexico. Here's Castillo. You see the chase is on from Frankie Hedek, but he just pulls up. And that's not good news. When a player is sprinting with the ball and he pulls up like that, normally you've got a strain in the hamstring or even more of a degree of a strain. So Castillo just coming off of Shakhtar Donetsk, and he played the full. So maybe Martinez comes in. He played against Sweden.
Well, you don't have to make a change because of injury, especially in the first half. So we'll see what happens here. 33rd minute, scoreless.
And here's the opportunity with Beasley, and this is why he's on the field, the one-on-one. And there he is, taking him on. He's getting down that wing past Osorio. And it's a great ball into the back post. Landon Donovan, who played with Beasley when they were youngsters at the IMG Academy, they understand each other. And Dempsey pounces on the ball, brings out the best in Sanchez. So a good all-around play there of players connecting in the final third for the U.S. Bob Bradley, the head coach, would like to see more of that as we take a look at Castillo coming off the field, and he looks like he's done for the night.
Yeah, they've got Israel Martinez up by the fourth official. Tough break for Mexico.
And this changes a little bit of the way they attack now. Castillo was playing very high. Not sure if Martinez is going to drift into a left-sided position or more of a central role, but you got to see how things play out for Mexico.
Far lesser experience, though, is Martinez than the man he replaced. Bradley with that pass. Cut off there. Martinez. Onyewu up for Hedek. They almost ran into each other on that sideline. The ball goes out for a throw-in. ESPN's presentation of U.S. Soccer is brought to you by the United States Marine Corps. The few, the proud, the Marines. 35th minute, scoreless in this opening game of 10 in this final round of World Cup qualifying. USA versus Mexico. Always a battle when these two teams meet, wherever the venue is. Augusto. Medina. He'll cross it towards Ochoa. Right back, Pardo blocked, but there was a whistle anyway.
That was a dangerous play there, and you see Medina, the number 12 from Mexico, he has pushed up top with Ochoa, which Martinez has pushed out to the left-hand side, and here it is. Yeah, a little dangerous play there. Very aggressive from Bocanegra, though, attacking the ball. You want that from every center back.
This player, Ochoa, had a couple of caps in 2002, no more until 2008. That's a long time to be away from the national team, but to his credit, he's back on it. Donovan. Look at the sea of green around Landon Donovan when he received that ball. On Yewu. Up for Ching. Towards Donovan, knocked away. Dos Santos. With help from Pardo. Good job by Giovanni Dos Santos. Look at that skill. An under 17, under 20 Mexican international. They thought he'd do better by this point, but he's still only 19 years old. Martinez cross, Ochoa. Blocked in the box, it's loose. Medina saved Tim Howard. '37th minute. It remains scoreless. Howard with a couple of good saves. Osvaldo Sanchez with a beauty at the other end several minutes ago.
And Dos Santos, his composure in tight situations with many players around him is the one that really created that Mexico attack. And the U.S. side, they are hopeful and very, very grateful that Tim Howard has soft hands. To not give a rebound there, to actually pull it in wet conditions. Very well done.
37th minute. This World Cup qualifier from Columbus. Tim Howard keeping it scoreless.
Yeah, again, here's the ball that gets played in from the opposite side, and there's a turn from Medina, just across, trying to hit the back post. Tim Howard has it covered.
Michael Bradley steps up and nails that one, but it's wide of Sanchez.
Very promising from Michael Bradley. It's good to have a defensive midfielder come forward and be able to strike with power and authority from distance. We've seen Sasha Kleshin do it in MLS, and now it's good to see Michael Bradley. And remember, don't forget, at Heerenveen, he had many goals coming forward out of that midfield, and maybe he played a little bit higher. But still, it's good to have that threat. It changes it up, the dynamics of the game change, and Mexico has to step up higher now, which creates more space in behind them.
Something for them, obviously, to have to think about now.
And the more that they do that, guys like Bradley and Kleshin are striking balls, then at halftime, that's part of the talk. Eriksson goes in and said, step up higher and close that space down, which then opens up the wings for the U.S. and maybe to get in behind them.
Donovan trying to get it back, and does with a good second and third effort. Donovan's pass, he almost sprung Ching. Good idea, but it was cut off by Mexico, and then a Beasley foul.
Yeah, it was a good effort by Landon Donovan to keep that play alive, although the better option was Clint Dempsey making the run outside. Marquez with the nutmeg. There you go, little salam, catches him on the toe. But here's Landon, you know, just going into this play and keeping it alive with Marquez on the ground, really. The center back from Barcelona. And there's the ball. He's just trying to cross it inside, and Dempsey was coming late on the outside. So the space was there.
Beasley will play it back. Marquez apparently okay for Mexico, retreating along with Galindo against Donovan. This is Marquez. Donovan wanted a foul called. Apparently there was one called upfield against him. Long for Ochoa. Bocanegra against him. Foul. And just like it was at the other end, a bad place for the USA to commit the foul.
Not a good position right now for the U.S. To give up a foul, especially a little bit later in the half. And Bocanegra, there's no need for him. He actually puts his hand up on his shoulder. So look, let the ball play out. You know, you're in good position. You're between the goal and the player. Very good angle there. Just let him see if he can take the ball down, and then you can step in. Don't overcommit. Puts his hand up on him, and the referee makes the right decision there.
An important free kick for Mexico. Martinez or Pardo?
Well,
swirling wind.
Throughout qualifying, you've seen Pardo very well whip this ball across the box. He did it against Sweden as well.
Martinez takes it, but right over the top, and Tim Howard had an easy view of that.
Yeah, you know, if I'm Pardo, I'm yelling at Martinez at halftime because he does a very good job of bringing that ball away from the keeper as well. The right footer is an outswinger, and it's difficult for a keeper to get to. That one is really straight into the keeper there.
Down was Pierce as that ball was played longer.
Well,
physical play continues.
Well, when you talk about a rivalry, that's all part of it. You know, the
Yep.
chippiness, the late tackles, the after the ball's been played. And, you know, sometimes there's the diving on the field, and the referee has to be very sure of himself before he commits to anything in terms of cards and going out. There, we're not sure if there was anything after the play. It happened so quickly.
Bocanegra over Ochoa. Dempsey tried to knot it to Haydock. It goes out of play. It's the final round of World Cup qualifying. 6 teams are left, including the 2 that you are seeing here tonight. 10 games they'll play. Top 3 advanced. 4th place team takes on a South American 5th place team to also go in. So there could be as many as 4 CONCACAF teams in the next World Cup, 2010 in South Africa. Back it goes to Howard. To Heath Pierce. 42nd minute. USA versus Mexico on rivalry week. Haydock. Dempsey. Intended for Ching. He received it well and sets the table for this cross from Haydock. And then Haydock runs into the advertising boards. He might have had a little help, but that's good sportsmanship there by Carlos Salcido. It's going to be a corner.
Yeah, a little bit of sportsmanship, gamemanship, but he, at the same time, it felt like he wanted to pull Frankie Haydock by the back of his hair. But that's better from Frankie Haydock. And I like where the U.S. and Clint Dempsey, he drifts inside from the right midfield position, and he opens up that channel for Haydock to get across. And now we set up this corner kick for DeMarcus Beasley. The physical play in the box right now, the referee, see the referee's getting a hold of it. But again, these spaces, there's the players right there marking up. Onyewu, yeah, he's a threat, and so is Bocanegra. Michael Bradley's in there.
Back post area, Donovan, right across. Knocked in, USA has scored. Michael Bradley.
Well, it's a great corner kick. And again, it's the teammates at the youth finding each other. Beasley to Donovan on the back post. He brings it back across. Onyewu brings to Sanchez. Great save. And there is Michael Bradley, the son of Bob Bradley, on the doorstep. And he has no hesitation. Buries that ball. And it's 1-0 to the U.S. Great execution from a set piece for the USA.
This ball gets through, and Ochoa had it knocked away at the last moment as he tried to make his play. Michael Bradley gets credit for the goal. Donovan helped to set him up. 3rd career goal in World Cup qualifying for Bradley.
It's a good ball by Beasley, and really excellent effort from all around.
Began though with that set piece, and you talked about how important those would be, especially today.
Well, the thing is, it keeps the goalkeeper honest with the wind and the factor that's going on there. Sanchez can't come out too much, and you know, here's another look right here from the back side of the goal. Landon Donovan, a great header back across, and there's Onyewu, who tried to bring the best out of Sanchez again, but there's Michael Bradley celebrating as he should, and there's, hey, a proud father, not only a head coach, but a dad. That's a great time to score a goal, just before halftime. Now it's a mental game as they go into the dressing room.
Bradley for Beasley. Chipped over. Sanchez, who came out. It should be another corner kick. Momentum, USA.
Momentum and the pace, the movement off the ball is very good from the USA. They cause another threat, and Beasley, with his speed, jumping on that ball to create some havoc in the 18. Sanchez there, hey, he's got every right to yell at his back line and his defensive midfielders because they are being opened up by this U.S. attack.
Closing seconds of the first half. They will add a minute in stoppage time. Beasley, another corner. Michael Bradley looked like he got pushed as he tried to go up against Marquez. Incidental contact.
Yeah, he did get pushed, actually. But here's the build-up, and look at this high shot. Great stuff. And there's Michael Bradley, gets on the end of it, puts it back out wide. Great 1-2. Beasley cutting across his player. You love to see that in the off-the-ball stuff.
Back to live action. Beasley denied there. Out for a USA throw-in. 21-year-old Michael Bradley has scored an all-important first goal against Mexico. On the throw. Headed up by Bocanegra. Ching was looking for it off Dempsey. Coming up, SportsCenter halftime report. Ryan Burr and John's former teammate Alexi Lalas back in the studio. Highlights from Argentina, France. How did David Beckham do today? England was taking on Spain, and those guys will break down the highlights of this match as the first half has come to a close. SportsCenter halftime report will be coming your way shortly. It is a 1-0 lead for the United States. Michael Bradley gets the goal. Let's go downstairs. Pedro Gomez has Bob Bradley.
Bob, what did you make of the first half?
Obviously, it took a long time to settle down. It's a game of second balls. It's a game of moving as a team. It's very good that we get a goal late in the half. It's an important time to score and take the lead.
Which part is more proud, you the coach or you the father?
Right now, it's just about the team.
All right. Thank you, Bob. Ryan Burr, we'll go back to you in the studio.
Bradley has the game's only goal. Landon Donovan, USA, leading Mexico in the opening game of this final round of World Cup qualifying. 10 games on the docket for these teams trying to get to South Africa. World Cup in 2010. Mexico on the chase. No subs here to start this second half. The whistle blew on the foul that was going to be called. So it's a free kick or a throw-in? Throw-in for Mexico. Martinez put it down for Salcido. Augusto played it up and over Tim Howard. Let's go downstairs. Pedro Gomez had a chance to talk to Mexico's head coach Sven-Göran Eriksson. What did you find out, Pedro?
Asked him what he thought of the first half. He was actually very pleased with the way Mexico played for the most part. He said it was just a bit of bad luck to let up that goal by Bradley in the last 2 minutes of that first half. But otherwise, he was absolutely pleased with the way they attacked the ball.
I would think that he would be, wouldn't you, John? I mean, they had chances.
It depends on how you look at it. I mean, no bad luck, really. It's an excellent ball and the delivery into the back post. Landon does a great job of directing it back across. You know, Landon Donovan did a good job to lose his marker there. Martinez, Israel Martinez, who just came in, number 14, he was supposed to be marking Landon, and he let his marker get in behind. So Landon was free. Yeah. Good finish by Bradley.
But I mean, overall, Mexico didn't play bad in the first half, did they?
No, I don't think they played bad. No, I think the U.S. had the better play in terms of possession, ball movement, interchanging of players, creating more in the final third. I think it's promising from the U.S.'s point of view that they, you know, throughout the qualifying, we talked about getting more players involved in the attack, and they're doing that tonight. On the other end, like I said, you know, even with the highlights, Dos Santos should score that goal. And it should have been 1-0 up Mexico in probably the 10th or 11th minute. But that's soccer. If you don't put the chances away, then there's no use talking about it.
Cut off there. Pierce was looking for Beasley. Michael Bradley steps up, finds Ching. Michael Bradley, great ball. Maybe too far, maybe not. Sanchez took it, but what an idea. Michael Bradley trying to spring the speedy DeMarcus Beasley.
Well, it starts with the first ball that he plays into Brian Ching. It's a 40-yard driven ball hard from a deep center midfield position that sets the tone. He gets it back, and then he plays another third man running through. Excellent ball. That's great stuff from a central midfielder. You need that in the game. Someone that can see the game ahead of him, play those distinct balls that stick to the players.
Medina and Haydock, neither player giving an inch in that battle. Right between the benches. Mexico's ball. If you're Mexico, you're only down by one. How do you get back into this?
Well, the first things first is that, you know, again, it's keeping that shape and discipline, but which Sven-Göran Eriksson has really brought into this team, and you could see it. They don't want to give up too many things in terms of the run of play. They want to be disciplined in terms of not giving away too many free kicks as well. So be patient. The longer it goes on, 1-0, then they're hoping maybe towards the end of the game they can spring some attack and maybe get the point. But right now, it's keeping an eye on some very active U.S. players going forward, which is going to be tough.
They certainly can't give up a second goal. It was 2-0 results the last 2 times USA met Mexico in this stadium in qualifying in 01 and 05. Fourth corner, U.S. Donovan towards the middle. Sanchez 2 fists on it, and then Medina helped to move it further away. Donovan right back on it after taking the corner. Playing now on loan with Bayern Munich in the Bundesliga. Reporters asked him yesterday about that loan arrangement and would he stay. He said, I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about USA versus Mexico. What's your thought on Landon playing over there?
Well, I think if he gets an opportunity, it's not his choice, but if he gets the opportunity and carves that out for him, he should stay there. Yep. That's the reason why he went on loan. Playing now under Jurgen Klinsmann, right? Who we all know. Yeah, and he's in a good spot there. He's playing with great players.
Flag is up on Ochoa. Offside, Mexico. Potential subs for Mexico. And there is some experience there. You've got Luis Perez, Antonio Nelson, also known as Zinha, Omar Bravo, if you're looking for a goal, especially late. So plenty of firepower there for Mexico. Donovan against Marquez. Tried the left-footed cross block that goes to Beasley, and then he lost it there. Quickly they look for Ochoa. They're looking for that quick breakout. Second straight time up the field for Ochoa. But Onyewu did well in the one-on-one.
He did very well. Excellent play for the central back, really under pressure to keep that back to Howard.
Off Dempsey. Michael Bradley towards Kleshton. Now it's Frankie Haydock. He'll float that one up towards Donovan. And it goes right to Osvaldo Sanchez. The NASCAR Nationwide Series at Daytona gets underway Saturday with the Camping World 300. Coverage begins on ESPN2, noon Eastern, with NASCAR Countdown. For more information, log on to ESPN.com. Foul is called. USA will have the ball.
You notice a little bit of change here. Landon Donovan pushing really high up on the pitch on top of Marquez to maybe test him out as a center back, causing Marquez to step in there and cause the foul, and that's what Landon's going to try to do. Maybe play a little bit higher there, give some room to Sacha Kleshton maybe to express himself through the midfield, which he does well. Beasley, Dempsey coming inside, Michael Bradley, you know, offering a little bit of balance to that. Doing a good job, the U.S. right now. Good shape.
Bocanegra cut off. It was Marquez. It's deflected out. Mexico will throw it in. 6 teams that are left. Remember, the top 3 advance. The 4th place team will go into a playoff against the 5th place team from South America. But who do you like besides, obviously USA and Mexico are going to be there. That's the consensus. Those are 2. Who else do you like?
Honduras, you know, the way that they competed against Mexico in that upset, they had the 1-0 victory. Trinidad and Tobago shows that they can perform, but away from home, that's the challenge for them. They can perform at home, and here we see Dempsey.
Tackle away, but there's the follow-up from Kleshton towards Dempsey. Not quite. Haydock will chase this between the benches and move it upfield, but it goes out of play. Other games are going on in our region. CONCACAF, Carlos Edwards has the goal. Trinidad and Tobago with the lead over El Salvador in the first half of play. Bocanegra back to Tim Howard.
See the wind, the factor there with that ball being held up.
Michael Bradley towards Ching. Bradley, DeMarcus Beasley. Very active game for Beasley, who hasn't played much with Rangers. The Bradley pass on the left for Pierce. Those two players led the team last year, Bradley and Pierce, and games started for the U.S. Back to goal to Sanchez. And he gave it right back. Off the foot of Dempsey, picked back up. Salcido going wide. Knocked away by Onyewu. Up for Ching, the knock for Dempsey. Two players on Dempsey. And the foul was called. Free kick Mexico right away. They play it. Up for Ochoa. Pushes it out wider on the right. Giovanni Dos Santos. Running to the end line. Got the cross away. But it goes out of play. Should be a goal kick.
You saw the pace from Dos Santos, the one-on-one isolation, and Heath Pierce doing a good job at least to put him off of the cross. Enough of a challenge to put him off that cross. And that's what a defender needs to do. And here it is again. Dos Santos is pushing this ball by Heath Pierce. He does a good job just kind of putting enough pressure on the ball there.
Up near the halfway line. Anyone's ball here. Played up by Salcido. Question to Hayduk. Again off Salcido towards Ochoa. Bocanegra was all over him, but did well not to commit a foul. Donovan against Marquez. Oh, Landon almost got by. Good recovery there too by Marquez.
Well, it was an excellent timing by Marquez in terms of when to step forward and win that challenge. He read the game very well there with the ball dropping down to Landon. He gave him the space, a little bit of respect. I thought too much, but then right when Landon was going to take that touch off the half volley, he steps in. Watch this, how quickly he does it. There it is. He just steps at the right time. Landon could have pushed that ball by him because Landon would have easily blown by him in the open field there.
Throw in front of the Mexico bench for the U.S. Hader for Ching off that flick. Galindo. Medina blocked there by Bocanegra. Stepping up. Rafa Marquez cut off by Hader. Question.
Very
Pierce.
nice. This is great. Very, just very decisive passing.
Foul was called against Mexico. '57th minute. USA leads on a goal by Michael Bradley near the end of the first half. Up for Dempsey. Got it forward. That's cut off. Martinez. Dempsey. Lost it there. Referee Carlos Patmos was looking, didn't see a foul. All the way back to Tim Howard. Mexico may be making another change. We've got Zinha up. That's his nickname. Full name, Antonio Nelson. Free kick, Mexico. 58th minute. Sold out Columbus Crew Stadium. Heavy winds at the start of the game. Heavy rain. Now it's just a little chilly and windy, but much better than the way it started about an hour or so, hour and a half before kickoff. A push there on Galindo, or by Galindo, results in a free kick for the United States. There's Brian Ching who went down.
There's a ball played in. A little bit of a shove from the back. It's all part of it.
Kleshton. Try to find Chink. Kleshton one more time. Nice ball knotted ahead towards Hayduk. But just too much closer to Mexico to get that ball. Closer to Galindo than it was to Hayduk. Ochoa. Played forward. Medina, nice turn. That was well done. Then the chip. Pardo's there, but the offside flag went up.
Here's the counterattack from Mexico, and plenty of players, and you see the defense of the USA as they try to close down the space and make the field small. They condense and pinch in. There's the offside by Pardo. It's very close. Very close.
So Medina comes out. Zinha comes in.
They thought that Zinha was going to be a starter, actually, tonight. For me, anyway, my opinion. I didn't think Medina did much on the field. I don't think Ochoa has done much up front. He's not very mobile, Ochoa. You would look to see if Omar Bravo maybe comes in and changes things for Mexico up front.
Michael Bradley, his goal in the 43rd minute, is the only one to this point. 60th minute USA versus Mexico in this World Cup qualifier on rivalry week. Zinha played it back. Zinha is one of 4 naturalized players now on this Mexican roster. Kleshton lost it in the end. Picked up by Mexico. Zinha pressured by Michael Bradley, who went in hard. 61st minute, maybe the only surprise for me. No yellow cards for either team. A lot of physical play though. The referee letting things go. And that's okay as long as it's consistent.
No, I agree. I think the ref has done a good job, and every good referee is one that you really don't want to notice.
Yep. Offside flag up on Ochoa. Rivalry week continues tomorrow night, 7 Eastern. That's when it begins. The Big East pairing. Louisville and Notre Dame will tip off at 9 Eastern. A Pac-10 showdown. UCLA and Arizona State. Thursday night showcase presented by T. Rowe Price, part of Rivalry Week, presented by Cisco on ESPN.
Notre Dame upset, I'm saying.
That's your pick?
Yep. Fighting Irish.
Not sure what happened tonight with the Connecticut game, but UConn men and women both ranked #1 in the country. Galindo will put it back into play. Pushed up by Osorio. Now Pardo. Kept it on the ground, but it was closer to Bocanegra than it was to Osorio.
Good cover again by Carlos Bocanegra. Heath Pierce was pushed a little bit too high. His first touch takes him out of the play. Beasley trying to cover in behind for him, but Bocanegra slides across. Good center back, great positioning. Plays at Rennes in France. I think he's had 24 consecutive games with Rennes this year, and that helps. Playing football every week is what it's all about.
6 teams remain in this CONCACAF World Cup qualifying group. They'll play each other twice, home and home. Top 3 will advance. 4th place team goes to a playoff against the 5th place team from South America. 2-leg playoff that would be. In the box it goes. Augusto blocked by Donovan, but the foul was committed.
Some people watching right now. There's a lot of teams that get through in the CONCACAF. You know, soon it's going to be 9 teams that get through.
I don't think
it'll 35.
I don't think it'll ever be that many, but
you know, I didn't really see where the foul was. Competing for the ball, landing, maybe a little shove there on, I think it was Leandro Augusto.
Augusto played it over to the right. Mexico down by a goal. These 2 teams heavily favored to go on to the World Cup directly. They've been the top 2 teams in the region now for years. Martinez played it up. Beasley being chased.
And you can see the respect right there from Mexico, dropping off, giving him the space. And with the speed of Beasley, that's one thing that a player likes to use to his advantage. I think he came from an offside position, Brian Ching.
We gave you the Trinidad score. They were up by 1 on a Carlos Edwards goal. Apparently they have scored again in El Salvador. And that's the team that the USA will be playing next away. Free kick is coming here for Mexico. Pardo is over the ball.
Very dangerous area. Pardo, if he drops off and he whips this ball in towards the penalty spot, normally players like to keep it on the goal frame, because if it goes through in this area right here, that kind of lends itself to being on the goal.
There it is, the chance! Martinez! And it was either off the Mexican player that was down or off the post. And we've got another player down for Mexico as well, as Howard collides there in midair. And now the rivalry picks up. Is that a red card?
Yes, it is. It's a red card.
Wow.
I think it was for the challenge on Tim Howard. I believe it was Marquez. No?
I think so. Well, we didn't have a single yellow card. And I wasn't sure if my eyes were deceiving me from here when I saw the red go up that quickly.
It looked like Howard had every intention to go straight up for the ball, and you're going to have a player compete for that in the air.
Right. So here's Mexico. They should have scored. That one that came across may have gone off one of their own players.
Right, and here's the ball that gets whipped in, and it's a dangerous ball. Players losing their mark on the back post there. Someone just cuts across the Heath Pierce and keeps us alive. But I'm not sure, is he not offsides as that ball's been played? And there it is, and there's Marquez with his studs coming up, not even looking at the ball. The referee does a good job there. In the 65th minute, gives him the red card.
So again, Mexico goes from having a chance to tie this game to losing their captain. And they've already made a couple of subs as well. He's their captain, he's their leader. He is done.
And so now it becomes the tactical mind of Sven-Göran Eriksson. Does he change things, being a man down? Does he go to 3 at the back?
What would you do?
Well, I'm not coaching.
No,
but again,
if you were,
if I was trying to get a point out of this game,
yes,
I'd be trying to go with a 3-4-2. You know, if I could, and just kind of at least keep things through the midfield, because the U.S. have been dominating the midfield right now. See, what the U.S. can afford to do, though, and this is what you need to do, is sometimes it's reaction to what they need to do on the field to see how many players the U.S. push forward. You have to take more risks if you want to get. This could end up, he takes more risks, and then it ends up being 2 and 3-0. And you walk away, and then, like you said before, the pressure is on. Does Sven-Göran Eriksson, is his job safe? Is it safe losing 1-0? Probably. Mexico hasn't won here for so many years. They're not expected to win, the US are.
We're told that Tim Howard, by the way, got a yellow card in that collision as well. So that's interesting with Marquez, and Howard is limping at the other end, by the way. Delaying the kick, we're told, is why he got a yellow card. Question. Knotting it down. Right through to Ching. Almost through. Good job by Salcido. Dempsey down. Play continuing. 68th minute. Michael Bradley. 11 players versus 10. With Marquez being sent off. Pardo.
Salcedo, the number 3, has dropped into a center back position. Martinez, the left side of midfield, is dropping back more to a left back position. So, a little bit of change from the Mexican side.
Yeah.
Remember, they are missing players, though. Torrado, Fernando Arce, Vela, they're all suspended. Guadardo is injured. Magallon is injured.
Yep.
So it's not a full squad from Mexico, but U.S. nevertheless is dominating tonight.
USA just missing Cherundolo with an injury, and also Pablo Mastroeni is suspended. Marquez, how about him? Red carded here, red carded in the 2002 World Cup also against the United States, headbutting Kobe Jones. So he's got 2 strikes, I guess, against him in those games against the United States.
He always shows, as a captain and a leader of this team, his dislike for the U.S. side. And that passion sometimes gets the better of him.
Let's make it rougher now. 69th minute. USA leading on a Michael Bradley goal in the 43rd minute.
Well, it's a great atmosphere and environment. Here's the open field tackle from Frankie Hejduk. Very well timed. Good job. All-important goal was Bradley just before halftime. You know, the mindset, the confidence from the U.S. going into the dressing room. They came out and they played very well in the beginning of the second half. Although, you know, we say that, but Mexico had their chances of scoring. They didn't make the most of those opportunities.
That was Omar Bravo on the side with Sven-Göran Eriksson. So you need a goal scorer. He's one of them.
The one thing I'd like to see a little bit more from the U.S. side is that switching the point of attack a little bit quicker, especially when Mexico is a man down. You can open up on the weak side, and Mexico has shown that they haven't done a very good job of that throughout qualifying and even against Sweden in the friendly. They got caught on the weak side, and the U.S. could do a better job of switching the point of attack a little bit quicker to expose that.
Ching to Beasley. 11 players versus 10. Let the ball do the work, as coaches always say.
And here it is now. This is where Frankie Hejduk can get forward and take advantage of that space.
Michael Bradley. That's more like the movement they're looking for. And then that final pass. Beasley was open. Zinya's pass to Pardo. Upfield it comes. A hard challenge there from Hejduk. Ochoa couldn't get to it. Hejduk's up limping now. Donovan. USA hasn't made a substitution yet. Mexico has made 2, and they're getting ready to make their final one with Omar Bravo on the sideline. He'll come in for Giovanni Dos Santos, who has really drifted out of the game after a pretty decent start. Ochoa from long range. Wide of a diving Tim Howard. Let's send it back to Ryan Burr in the studio. Sports Center right now.
Making their final change. Mexico substitution in the 72nd minute, leaving the game with number 17, Giovanni Dos Santos, and entering the game is number 9, Omar Bravo.
Thank you, Ryan. And as you were doing Sports Center, we just saw the last substitution made by Mexico. Hejduk is still limping. Omar Bravo, meanwhile, has come into the game. Capped 54 times by Mexico. He has scored 14 goals, including goals in World Cup play and in Olympic play as well. A player to be watched for sure, even with Mexico down to 10 players with the sending off of Marquez. Hejduk is still struggling by the near sideline.
It's just above his knee. And here's Dos Santos as they both commit to that play. You see the studs come through, catches the top of his knee. Frankie Hejduk, he'll never shy from a tackle. His commitment's been there throughout his career. I think he and both Tim Howard are kind of struggling. Tim Howard's still limping a little bit. I know Brad Guzan is on the side, who has done so well under Brad Friedel, getting an opportunity at Villa to play. So could it be a late change at the goalkeeper, too? Got to keep an eye on Tim Howard.
Well, they could. They haven't made any changes, so they have 3. And being up 11 men against 10 gives them also a little luxury, a little benefit. 74th minute. Frankie Hayek with his throw-in for Ching. Bradley, Hayek, Ching one more time. Down the sideline. The cross is low and picked off. Augusto upfield for Mexico, and he gave it right back to Onyewu. Michael Bradley, and then Dempsey got clipped.
He's got to get some better spots on the field, but also get better service too. He's been in a lot of 50-50 challenges tonight.
Ching trying to win it back. Off a block. Goes out for a throw-in. The NASCAR Nationwide Series at Daytona gets underway Saturday. It's the Camping World 300. Coverage begins ESPN 2, noon Eastern, with NASCAR Countdown. For more information, log on to ESPN.com. Mexico on the attack, down by a goal. In this World Cup qualifier, Pardo's pass cleared away, halfway line. Salcido towards Omar Bravo, and that will go out. Frankie Hayek will put it back into play. Intended for Ching. Donovan came back to help out. Salcido. Donovan. Now Pardo for Ochoa. He and Onyewu both battled there hard. Pierce to Ching.
Good play by Ching. Very solid.
Beasley. The cross from Pierce is a wild one, and that goes out of play. Let's go downstairs to Pedro Gomez.
Guys, you talk about the pressure that Mexico's under now because they are short a man. Nowhere probably is that more felt than with Sven-Göran Eriksson, because he has felt the pressure since he took this job. And obviously you talked about it earlier in the show. He was badgered yesterday by the Mexican press. A couple of his answers were, listen, I have a contract until the end of July of 2010. Another thing he said is that he has always maintained that Mexico will qualify for the World Cup. But he did say, you know, if we lose, who knows what will happen. This is a veteran of a lot of teams that he's coached. John Harkes, what do you think of this?
Well, I'll tell you what, there's many people that could say and maintain that Mexico will qualify for the World Cup. That's an easy statement. You know, I think that with Sven-Göran Eriksson, you know, with England, didn't have a good run, went to Man City, did okay, not great. The next day was hired in Mexico, took on a different challenge, but at the same time, didn't understand really what the pressures were like in Mexico. You can't have an okay Mexican national side. Their national pride is too strong. You can't be 4-4-1 at this stage. He's under pressure.
Yeah, that's what his record is, 500 as coach, and not winning on the road. World Cup qualifying in the last round.
Well, they demand
really
more.
hurt.
They thought that he would bring the discipline, which he has, but at the same time, Mexico's not playing well. Is that the coach's fault? Maybe, but it's going to fall on him. It's easier to change one coach than it is to change 7 or 8 players.
Played on the ground. Howard gets to that. No problem for Tim Howard, who's in great form with Everton in the Premiership. Beasley. 78th minute, USA leading 1-0 on a Michael Bradley goal, 43rd minute. Kicking off this final round of World Cup qualifying. Donovan waits, he's got players open. Hayek was screaming for the ball. Hayek's shot went wide. Difference in the game, a Michael Bradley goal in the 43rd minute.
And it was an excellent play here. You see some of the defending, Michael Bradley getting stuck in. Here he is. Timing is everything. Opportunist on the doorstep. The save from Sanchez and the rebound from Michael Bradley. In the right place at the right time, and that's all part of it.
Michael Bradley will touch it back. Bocanegra up the wing and out of play.
You know, just going back to the last play that got sent through, and Michael Bradley has been the supplier of some of those balls. But Landon Donovan peels out, perfect timing, gets in behind the Mexico defense, but no other U.S. players are in the box looking for the end of it. So he has to cut back and slow his play down. You want to see more players getting forward at this stage. There's nothing wrong with 1-0, 78th minute, that you send a Dempsey higher, or you send Ching higher up the pitch, or maybe a Kleshin goes and Michael Bradley holds. Those are the type of things you want to do to put the game away.
Ochoa, look out there as Howard clears it. This game is a long way from being over. Even with Mexico down a man, all they need is one chance, and Ochoa nearly had it.
He's putting some pressure on Yewu there, and he does enough just to break up that play. Tim Howard, quick thinking that he doesn't use his hands because it did come off of Onyewu's foot.
First corner kick of the night for Mexico.
And you've got to be very tight in the marking in here. This is going to be important that these players mark up for the U.S. They don't want to give anything away here.
One of their normal targets is Rafa Marquez, but he was red carded. Here it goes, the header toward goal, cleared by Bocanegra. What a chance for Ricardo Osorio. It was right off a corner kick, which is really how USA had scored there. Salcido, Tim Howard is there, no rebounds. Very sure-handed is Tim Howard.
A little bit lucky there, the U.S. In terms of a free player, you don't want to give anybody a free header at this stage. Osorio didn't connect properly. They get a second chance at it. And again, like you said, Tim Howard, very, very good with his hands, understanding of the game, how much he's grown as a goalkeeper has been great. And I said earlier, he is one of the top 5 goalkeepers in the EPL, which is, it's a big thing to say.
Outstanding compliment.
Friedel, Van de Sar, you know, they're all up there.
Zinha. Blocked there by Donovan. Dempsey's on it. Right side for Hayek. 81st minute. USA leads 1-0 in this World Cup qualifier on rivalry week. What better way to start off World Cup qualifying than have these two nations kicking it off in this first game of that final round. USA is getting ready to make some substitutions.
And they can afford to, and some players that are maybe coming off the bench that can open up this game, like a Josie Altidore, a young player who has done well even on his debut. He scores against Mexico, and
Josie's up. Josie's up, ready to come in. Corner kick, meanwhile, for Landon Donovan and the United States. 5th one. Donovan. A couple guys thought it was to someone else. Nobody went up for that one. Dempsey shielding his man. Hayek chips it. Beasley picks it up. Flag stays down. The cross. And Donovan has to come back for it. Donovan's on it. Over the top. And just missing as he was trying to find Oguchi Onyewu. ESPN's presentation of U.S. soccer is brought to you by the United States Marine Corps. The few, the proud, the Marines. 82nd minute. USA with a 1-goal lead over Mexico. Michael Bradley, the game's only goal. Rafa Marquez, red carded, 65th minute. And Josie Altidore is going to be coming into the match. He will replace Brian Ching, first sub for the United States.
Making their first team USA substitution. Leading the game, number 11, Brian Ching. And he'll be replaced by number 9, Josie Altidore.
The hand is for young Josie, who's just 19 years old, loaned out by Villarreal to Jerez, the 2nd division team, but he has not been playing, not for Villarreal, and not yet for his new team. His last game played was in December, so it's good to get him some time here. Your thoughts on the way Brian Ching played today?
Well, I think there was appreciation from the fans for Brian Ching.
Too.
Very solid performance once again. Brian really puts himself about up front, holds the ball quite well, and gives him an outlet for this U.S. side.
He's steady, isn't he?
Yeah,
he's not flashy. Steady.
He doesn't need to be.
Yeah.
You know, at this level, you need to be simple and confident in what you do, and he does a very good job of holding the ball up for this U.S. team.
Martinez down the wing. Hard challenge by Frankie Haydock. 84th minute. Regardless of the score, these two teams always play to the final whistle. Martinez. Augusto. Ochoa. Left there. Pardo. It's deflected. Frankie Haydock made sure that ball was settled as he cleared it.
Right now, it's a little creepy feeling because Mexico has got some good confidence in keeping the ball, and that's not good. From the U.S. point of view, they want to be aggressive still to shut things down and not let any doors open at all for Mexico to kind of walk away with a draw here.
Dempsey with it.
Very strong Dempsey on the play. There's a pace of Josie Altidore, young player.
Josie hanging in there. Mexico won it though.
He did a good job to get to the ball, and he got a little too casual with it, shielding it. He should be a little bit more aggressive there, Josie.
Free kick is coming. Pardo to the right. Mexico looking to get that game-tying goal. There's still some time left, 85th minute.
It's a great switch to the point of attack to exploit the weaker side. U.S. needs a little bit more of that. Instead of 2-3 passes to get across the field, it's one. Get the ball across over to Michael Bradley here. Let him shift it out to Heath Pierce. There it is. And that's how you open up a team, especially when they're a man down.
Heath Pierce. He's going to get called for the foul. At the conclusion of tonight's telecast on ESPN2, stay with us. We'll have bonus coverage on ESPN360.com, post-game analysis, highlights, interviews, a full review of this great rivalry by just clicking over to ESPN360.com. Basketball will continue, college basketball on this network. Ricardo Clark in, Sasha Question out. Question playing really beside Michael Bradley, and we've seen that combination quite a bit now in terms of qualifying.
They both did well tonight, closing down spaces in the central part of the midfield. The distribution was good.
How about the way they worked together?
Sorry?
How about the way they worked together?
Yeah, I thought they kind of shared each other. But going back to Howard here early on with Dos Santos, he should really bury that ball. That should be a finish. It's straight at the keeper. There's Medina getting the ball across. And there's the red card from Marquez as he puts the foot up. Referee right there on the spot. A lot of people at home probably saying, was it really a red? It could have been a yellow, but no. You don't lift the boot like that, show studs, and get it into a goalkeeper when you're challenging for a ball. Ricardo Clark, going back to, you know, his play, for me, over a year and a half ago in the Gold Cup, I thought he was man of the match. And he did such a good job of shutting down that midfield, but also making great runs. And a lot of people need to look back in that Gold Cup run. And then the final, he did a very good job of doing that. Plays for the Dynamo.
Beasley to Josie Altidore. Looked like that was intended more for Beasley, but it was between Beasley and Altidore. Comes all the way back. Sanchez. Dempsey. The foul is going to be called. Coming up right after the match, ESPN Deportes will have extended coverage of this match, including special editions of Football Picante and Cronometro, both live from Columbus, and extensive reports and highlights on sports, and all coming up post-match on ESPN Deportes. Haydock stopped right there. Augusto. Time running out on Mexico's hopes. There'll be some stoppage time added on here, but we're in the 89th minute now. Mexico down by 1. Down a man and down a goal, with Marquez being sent off. Pierce. Zinya's pass towards Ochoa, well read. Michael Bradley again, that time making the defensive play. Pierce with the advantage call, up for Donovan. He's being shielded, and then he goes down with Salcido right there. Desperation times now for Mexico. In the 89th minute, late stages of it. Ochoa back for Zinya, back to Ochoa. Augusto playing much farther up now. Martinez. Got a player that's down. Augusto was there. He thinks there was a dive on the part of Dempsey or some embellishment. 90th minute now. USA, Mexico.
You see Tim Howard right there picks up a yellow card in this game, means that he's out of the next match as it carries over from the last round, which we just wanted to make sure that was confirmed. But yeah, that's true. So an opportunity possibly for Brad Guzan to step in for that game against El Salvador.
In El Salvador. See how much stoppage time is put on here. Augusto will put it back into play. Pardo. Clock strikes 90. 3 minutes added on. Headed up by Bravo. He may get another go at this. A high boot there from Dempsey. As the ball is cleared upfield, Donovan trying to get that forward. Beasley does the same, back for Donovan. He's cut off. Augusto. Salcido. Not a down. When you're down a man like that, Mexico is giving the ball away far too easily to the U.S.
Although the U.S. at times is dropping very deep from the midfield to their back line, and when you do that, that forces their back line even into a deeper situation. So you don't want to go too deep right now and give Mexico any chance to pip this and walk away with the draw in a 1-1 situation.
Nearly a minute gone out of 3 as Augusto got a piece of Landon Donovan. Mexico has the ball at the halfway line. They'll move it on the right. And it's given away again to the U.S. up towards Altidore, using his size and strength. And now a bit of his skill, tackle away, advantage call. Donovan running against Galindo. Dempsey joins. Landon played it back smartly. Michael Bradley, he tags it! Michael Bradley's got 2!
It all starts from Josie Altidore, who holds the ball up quite well. He gets fouled from Salcido, lays it back to Landon, doesn't have many options. He cuts his back. Michael Bradley making a very good run from deep. And there's the rifle. Of course, Sanchez should have it, but it's just taking that chance. Michael Bradley puts himself in a good spot. A wet field, and he strikes it with power. And the dip underneath Sanchez, yeah. It's a happy Michael Bradley. 2 goals and a great way to start the final phase of this qualification round against the other best team in this CONCACAF region, and maybe not so much anymore. Mexico under a lot of pressure. Michael Bradley, 4th career World Cup qualifying goal.
Late goal in the first half, late goal in the second half. That one puts an exclamation point on this match.
And good for him. He's had a tough time at Mönchengladbach. They made the move from Heerenveen, and that doesn't mean that's a tough time for him individually, but the club itself have gone through some changes with coaches, personnel. They're not playing too well.
That's it. USA wins game 1 of this final round of World Cup qualifying, and Michael Bradley was the offensive star.
Well, it seems to be a common thread now, this 2-0 U.S. over Mexico the last 2 games.
Last 3, right?
Yeah, and this is the third one now. So there's Sven and Bob Bradley.
You got to wonder about Sven-Göran Eriksson and how the reaction will be at home. Once again, the USA never loses to Mexico on American soil. And one of their youngest players gets both goals, Michael Bradley.
It was a solid all-around performance from Bradley tonight. I said before Kljestan went off, Kljestan, in the attacking part of the game, Kljestan wasn't himself, I didn't feel. Like his feet tried to do things a little bit too quickly at times, the decision-making. But defensively, they kept a good understanding of being close together and shutting things down. So overall, a good performance by the central midfield group, and Michael Bradley standing out with the 2 goals.
This was a good game, wasn't it? Exciting game between these two.
It was an exciting game. The fast pace, which we expected in the first half, was great. And the U.S. dominated a lot, although they created things for Mexico.
Michael Bradley had both goals tonight. He's downstairs with Pedro Gomez.
Oh, Michael Bradley is the star of the night. Take us through that first goal in the 43rd minute, right before halftime.
It was a great ball from Bees. Landon did a great job to head it back across, and it wasn't very hard for me. Just put it back in the goal.
Psychologically, what do you think that did in this game?
Yeah, I thought in the first half we did a really good job of coming out and getting after him. We didn't really let him breathe. So, you know, to have something to show for ourselves when we came in for halftime, that was big.
All right, excellent. So that's 3 straight times that the U.S. has beaten Mexico on their home soil here, 2-0. Michael, congratulations, you're on to the next round. Guys, back to you.
Our final score tonight, USA has defeated Mexico 2-0. Click over to ESPN360.com for bonus USA-Mexico post-match coverage live from Columbus. Up next on ESPN2, we'll send it to Waco, Texas. Men's college basketball, Oklahoma, #2 in the country, taking on Baylor. But first, we go to the studio.